Ohio gozaimasu! I'm Craze.
I'm Witchley.
And welcome to
We
the
Simpin.
episode,
第27話
which is 27.
Yes.
And you're probably noticing we're down a person right now, and that's because of the holidays.
Yes.
But we are still trekking on through, and we'll catch up back up with Migi probably in the next episode.
Yeah, so she could include everything she was going to talk about in this episode.
Yeah. But
We miss you, Miggy!
we do miss you. Hope you're having a great holiday with your family. And we'll get you back in on the next one.
Heck yeah.
Because we got huge topics to talk about today and coming into the new year. Because this is actually our final episode of 2025.
Wow.
How does it feel?
Feels crazy.
We've been doing this since May.
Since May. Has not been quite a year yet.
Yeah, we've not been doing this for a full year, but we have
Each
been
month we inch closer.
ever closer. We're a good halfway mark.
Yeah.
So it's really nice, and it's nice that we get to close out which is the topic of today, which is the fall simp picks.
Fall simp picks?
Yeah.
The ones we're most attracted to?
Okay, I know you guys have a different verb and you know. Well, that's what the title's called. Our fall anime simp picks.
Nice, yeah.
We did this with the spring update, the spring lineup, and now we're going to do it with the fall lineup. But before we get all into that, let's talk about our weekly updates.
Yes. As usual, let's start with our personal weekly updates. You got anything?
We got one.
Oh?
We watched a nice Japanese movie over the weekend with you and me.
Indeed.
Called Ten Dance.
That was so good.
So, do you want to brush us up on what Ten Dance is? This is something you've been really hyping for.
I know. Ever since I saw the trailer on YouTube a couple months ago, I was like, I gotta watch this. So it came out just probably a couple weeks ago, just earlier in December. So 10 Dance is about two expert dancers, Shinya Suzuki and Shunya Suzuki, who aim to master each other's styles for a prestigious competition. But old rivalries and potential romance complicate your partnership. Yeah, watch the trailer. It's pretty hot.
Yeah.
I showed it to my mom and she was like, ooh.
She was actually, I think when you told me that you showed it to your mom, she was actually surprised I watched it.
Yeah, because the men in her life are a bit more on the homophobic side.
Mm-hmm.
And that stuff creeps them out. They're like, nope, they're not touching me like that. But I know they would appreciate the story if they could get out of their own heads and stop trying to project themselves onto these characters.
Now, you kind of molded me into the BL genre a lot.
I have.
Over the years.
That's a requirement for being with me, okay.
And I love it. I have no qualms with it. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite thing. It's nice seeing it,
It's beautiful. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. And that movie proves it. I love Ten Dance. It was giving me a lot of Yuri on Ice vibes, which I really, really love that anime. Just based on, it being a sport anime that I've usually never attracted to.
Yeah.
And then obviously a romance between two males, which is really nice. I know, that was beautiful. And seeing Ten Dance gave me the same vibes of these two dancers who want to make it to, the top in their I guess genre, because one of them does like salsa dancing.
Styles.
Yeah, their style.
One is like
contemporary.
Americano dance is really sexy, and the other one is really classical and elegant.
Yeah. So they both have like their own different styles, and it's cool to see them kind of, I would say, like come together and mesh and learn from one another in those styles, and also their personality and what makes them tick. And obviously a romance is blooming. I love all that. It's so great. So I really love the movie, and it's still sticking with me. And I loved how they ended it and everything. It was great. So highly recommend 10 Dance. We watched it over on Netflix.
Yeah, really good. Check it out.
Yeah. Now, shall we get out of the personal stuff and go into the anime world with the news and stuff?
Yes.
Huge news. A lot of anime just got announced.
Yeah.
Into 2026 and beyond. Such as that time I got reincarnated as a slime, season 4. And the craziest part about that is it's coming back as a 5-core run.
Jesus.
Which is the most unheard of thing I've ever heard of.
5 cores.
5 cores. So if anyone who doesn't know that lingo to anime, cores are kind of like parts in a series.
It's sort of like their seasons in a way.
Yeah. So obviously when I say season 4, 5 core, there's 5 parts in this season.
Usually consisting of 12 episodes.
Occasionally. I don't know any more details other than the first core is coming in 2026, and it's going to span for over a year.
Do you think this is going to finish off the series?
It sounds like that's what they're doing.
Especially if you're just going to go for it and be like 5 cores.
5 cores
for this
is
one
insane.
particular season.
Like the typical is usually 2. When you're gun ho about a series, you usually stick to 2 core, which is, like you said, 12 to 13 episodes, and then amassing into like a 24 to 25 episode count. You know, so it's like it's crazy that we're getting a 5 core run and something. I've never seen that. I'm sure anyone in the comments below can tell us that it's happened before, but this is the first time I've ever heard of it, and it's just insane.
That is.
So I like Slime, the anime. It's fallen off a bit for me since the last season, and I'm worried that 3 of these out of the 5 cores are just going to all be them talking around and recapping.
I'm afraid of similar things. I don't think it's going to be much like that, but I'm like, that's a lot of episodes that just greenlit, and who's to say they won't do like a season of recapping the entire previous 3 seasons we've already seen.
That's what really dived me down on season 3, but like
we skipped episodes.
Yeah, it's like the first 10 episodes.
Yeah, we already know all the shit.
Because them all sitting in a room talking about what's happened prior, and I'm like, I don't need that.
They gave us a whole recap episode that we watched before that season even started. I was like, they didn't need to do that.
No, they didn't need to do that. That was just the prologue to the recap.
Yeah.
So I'm interested just because of like the news, and then we'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
So obviously we will be trying to watch the Slime anime at some point in 2026, whenever that airs. I think they said April. Mm-hmm. So it's coming fairly soon. Yeah. Seems like they're getting right on the ball on it.
4 months from now.
Yeah. God, it's hard to believe.
Isn't it?
In 4 months that we're getting.
Feels like it should still be early 2025 right now.
It does. We're at the very end of the finish line of 2025, and it just doesn't feel real sometimes.
Yeah.
But on to other news. We got another announcement. Sakamoto Days Season 2 announced.
Heck yeah.
I know we've talked about Sakamoto Days. I don't know. Have we talked about them in the podcast? I'm trying to remember.
I can't remember if we have. If we did, it was definitely at the beginning of like our podcast days.
But we love Sakamoto Days.
Yeah.
I've loved the entire first season, and they leave it on a cliffhanger, and I'm like, when are you going to announce season 2, guys? And now they finally got it, and I'm happy. And
my mom's going to be really happy about that, too.
I know your mom watched that without us, because we usually watch anime together.
Yeah, she saw it on Netflix one day, she's like, yes, I'm watching this.
It's crazy, and she talks about it, too. Yeah. And so now that there's season 2, obviously Mama Bear is going to be able to watch it now. We're going to be able to watch it, and everyone else is loving Sakamoto Days. I'm loving it. I'm not a book reader. I know that people in that space that loves the books first or have read the books
Is it a book or a manga?
Manga, sorry. But they've had some disdain or some complaints regarding the anime. And again, I have no history with the manga, but I'm enjoying everything they've done so far. And
me too.
If you guys want to check it out, it's over on Netflix. It is about an assassin who retires and he gets fat. That's basically the gist. But I'm excited that they're picking up from their cliffhanger. And speaking of cliffhangers, we are getting the final season of Kaiju number 8.
Oh my god. Final season already?
Yeah, they announced it as well.
That's insane!
Because they leave us again on a cliffhanger. Remember?
Yeah. They totally left us on
I have loved Kaiju number 8 since the beginning. I love so much so, I love an anime so much when I read the manga.
Yeah.
Right after the first season or so, or even the pilot. I've had anime that's done that to me. As of recent, Solo Leveling, I binged through all of Solo Leveling after that first episode of Solo Leveling when it first launched. But then, my God, Kaiju number 8 did that to me.
Yeah.
Gachi Akuta has done that to me. So an anime can really hook me if I start reading the manga and catch up to it, or also finish it, because Kaiju number 8's done. It's finished. So when they came back to do another season, I was so happy, and I was like, what are they going to do next? Because it's a really short manga. It's 120 chapters. That seems like a lot, but in the manga space, not really. It's not really. So it's great seeing that they're going to wrap it up, and I think it's a really good conclusion, and I can't wait to see it.
This genre that's not stretching it out. They have a nice story that they tell within a specific amount of time, and it just works so well. You don't need to go beyond that.
Yeah, like early 2000s, we've had this where it was the big three. It was One Piece, it was Bleach, it was Naruto, and they kept spanning it and stretching it farther because they always kept catching up to the books, or they wanted to do more original content so they could give them more time, and obviously they knew that this was a franchise at this point, so they can do spin-offs and whatnot and go from there. And I'm like you said, I'm really appreciating what we are at now in the anime space, where we have a short. We have the manga. You can read the manga. It's short. It's not 1,000 chapters.
Yeah.
And you can also enjoy, 3 seasons?
All right. You can actually enjoy a whole story.
Yeah. It's great. It's beautiful. I love it.
Yes.
Other shows like that did it for me was Mob Psycho. He did it in 3 seasons.
Yeah, that was really good.
And that's about 100 chapters. It's not that big either of a read.
Very fitting for Mob 100.
Yeah, it's perfect. So Kaiju number 8 coming back. I'm excited. You know what I'm also excited about?
What?
Bleach final season is announced for July 2026.
Oh my god, that's still so soon.
It feels like it's so far away, but it's not.
It'll be here before you know
it's about
it.
6 months, which is crazy to think about. But I am so stoked for Bleach. We're Bleach fans, I'm one of them, is eating really fucking good right now. Just because we got this final season, which is going to wrap up this arc, the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. They're calling this one the Calamity. But yeah, that when they first set out to do this, 4 years ago or so, 4 or 5 years ago, they started back in 2020, that they're bringing it back after a 10-year hiatus to finish off this last arc. And obviously I've gotten you into Bleach.
Yeah.
You've watched all of it up to this point to a degree.
Yeah,
and
without the filler.
Without the filler, I am so glad we watched it without filler, because the filler sucks. I have a whole thing gripe on filler. But you've enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah,
and you've come to love characters to the point you have figures for, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So
I still need an Aizen.
And I'm looking for one for you. I'm hoping we get one with him in the chair.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
You know the one I'm talking about.
I know the one.
But I'm just so happy we're getting Bleach back, and so soon. I also got the video game, which has been really nice to play, and it's a really good fighter anime game. It's perfect. I'm just so happy to be a Bleach fan, and we're in a good spot right now where I'm like, what's next for Bleach after this? Could they keep going? They could. I have a lot to say about that, but I'm hoping they don't. I don't want them milking it, but also I'm hopeful that we get something new. I don't know. I'm almost like hoping, because this is like a swan song for Studio Parrot, like right now, or like a redemption for them, because they've always there's a studio that has handled Naruto. They've handled Bleach. They've also handled other anime of the sorts. I think Black Clover is another one, but you can see that they've really taken to heart this part of Bleach right now and honored it and gave it its legacy, like honoring the legacy of what Bleach was because of the work they put in, but also giving it the time to breathe and doing it right. Because like, my God, I think they learned a lot from what Demon Slayer was doing by taking their time, adapting the arcs, no filler. And here we are. Bleach looks amazing now.
It does.
It looks jaw-dropping.
Yeah.
And the fight scenes are amazing, and I love it so much, and I'm nerding out right now on Bleach. But I'm excited to see where Studio Parrot's going in the future, which may have something to do with your first news.
Boy.
Yeah.
Oh.
What you got?
Well, this is extremely exciting. Yona of the Dawn anime sequel has been officially announced.
So the reason I like that I segued to this, because Bleach, Studio Parrot, did Yona of the Dawn the first season over a decade ago.
Yeah.
It's been so long, because actually, after they finished Bleach, they did Yona.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and then they just dropped Yona after that, which is like crazy.
That's so sad, because it's such a good story.
Yeah, I love Yona the Dawn.
And the manga is just finishing up or just finished?
So the announcement is tied to the final chapter being released.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
So again, they have no new information other than there's a new anime sequel announced. This is very typical at this point. When you announce something, they don't even say second season. They just say sequel to the anime. So it's like, obviously it is a second season. I don't know who's adapting it. I don't know if Studio Parrot is being like, let's handle it again with care now that we have everything done at this point.
Right.
And I'm excited to see what it does. I mean, I heard there's like 45 to 50 volumes of Yona.
Yeah, I believe so.
There's quite a bit, and it's crazy how much of that story.
To grab them all, but that would also be a pretty penny.
Pretty penny, and where are we going to put that? We're going to put 50 books.
I know, right?
But I really like that story. You chose that on one of our like watch. I've
been interested in checking it out for a while, so yeah.
It was so good, and the dub was great, because we watched it dubbed with like, oh man, it had like Christopher Sabat in it, and God, I forget who does Yona's voice.
Isn't it like Uzaki-chan?
Uzaki-chan, Froppy, things like that. I don't know her name. I think Monica Rial, maybe. I think that might be the name. Maybe, possibly. Maybe Future Me can correct it on the top here in the video. Thank you. But I'm excited for Yona.
Me too.
What else are you excited for?
I am extremely excited for JoJo Steel Ball Run.
Typo?
Coming March 19th, 2026 to Netflix.
March 19th for Steel Ball Run.
Yeah, that's crazy. When they announced that, I was like, holy shit, we're getting it so soon. I was expecting maybe end of 2026. It
seems like they just announced it. But it's been like the summer when they announced it.
It still feels like really fast to get it this soon, but it's probably been in development for a while.
Yeah, by the same studio, Studio David, who's done the first 5 JoJo's. So, sorry, 6? Is this 6?
It's for 6.
This is 7.
This is part 7.
7, yeah.
Donut is really excited for
this.
I
know. I'm thinking we have to do some kind of watch party or like just recap of the episodes we watch, because it's coming in 3 months. It's insane to think about. And Netflix is like, they own all the rights to JoJo, or at least I guess the not the IP, but the rights to put it on a streaming platform. I think that's how that works. But man, they are killing it. Because I thought they were going to drop I thought they were going to be done with it after part 6.
Yeah, right. Because they did like 3 cores I believe.
Yeah, they did 3
usually,
parts. Yeah, they did. So Netflix does a weird thing where
there's
they
like a 3-season rule with Netflix.
Yeah. Well, they've been experimenting over and over, like around their platform, to either that's putting them in, stuff in theaters, to segmenting their one season into like sections, currently right now, and at the time of this recording it's done, but Stranger Things came back for the final season and they divided it into 3 parts, and they released like 2 episodes every part to get up to like the finale, just to hype it up and stretch it out more.
That's weird.
And it's not technically like it's final season part 1, final season part 2. It's like what they did with fucking Attack on Titan with their final season.
I don't like when shows do that kind of stuff because it's sounds a bit convoluted.
That's what I was worried about when they did Stone Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
They segmented it off into 3 parts, and they did like 6 or 8 episodes on each one, and then it just loses traction. I don't like, why can't you just keep it going? Is it just a production issue? Is it just, if it's just a strategy, it didn't really work well.
I believe that's probably more of a strategy to keep people subscribed rather than...
I think so.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, if they released all of Stranger Things right now,
people would just binge it, and then they would cancel their subscription after all.
Yeah, and they don't want to lose that at the end of the year. So I guess that was smart on them, I guess. I don't know.
This is their way of trying to keep constant subscribers.
It's working because we're still subscribed. And I'm going to be subscribed for a
problem with just releasing an episode a week like normal television,
Yeah, and they can just do that.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know how JoJo is going to do it. Sounds like, if they are that far along where we're going to get in 3 months,
right.
Maybe they'll do it in sections, but we'll see. For anyone that is not a JoJo fan, I think this is a good jumping on point for JoJo fan, or for JoJo.
Yeah, it's pretty much a whole brand new start to the series.
Because without spoiling, obviously JoJo kind of goes in, at least the last 6 parts have always done like it's the lineage of JoJo. It's done like a different generation of JoJo up into a certain point. And now with this one, it's kind of, like you said, a clean slate. Yeah. And I think this is a good jumping on point.
Part 6 actually sets up, but you don't need to know that jumping into this.
No. I am still a little wary of it, but again, it's been so long since we've had JoJo that I'm actually excited. Like, I'm actually excited because I get to jump on and experience something that's fresh.
Yeah.
But I'm also a little wary just because of how, and I don't want to get into spoilers, but like how they ended part 6, I was satisfied with that. I was satisfied with the story and how they ended it, and they could have ended it there. But obviously we have more story to tell, and I'm interested, and I'm actually getting more pumped now that it's 3 months away.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited.
It's coming up fast.
What else are we excited for?
Brand new episode titled More.
Okay, well, so sorry, I didn't update this properly, but My Hero Academia's announced a brand new episode titled More. Carry on.
Okay. It premieres May 2nd, 2026, streaming exclusively on Crunchyroll. Adapted from the manga's final volume bonus chapter. It follows Deku and his classmates 8 years after graduation.
Yep. So, obviously at this point...
we all know that there's going to be more because they're like, the story continues.
Yeah, so, final season's done.
Yeah.
It's finally done. Obviously, we're going to be talking about it this episode of the podcast, and I'm really excited about that. But, yeah, they left it on a cliffhanger. Not cliffhanger, but yeah, they said they're making more stuff. What does that entail? Well, right now they're doing Vigilantes, which is coming back actually in our winter lineup, which we'll talk about next episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're adapting the last chapter because a lot of people were complaining when they wrapped up the manga before the show ended that they were not satisfied with how he ended it. And
that's usually the case for any series that ends, not just in anime or manga.
It's typical.
Typical.
And so he made a special bonus chapter that you could only get in the final volume if you bought it. And obviously I've read it online. You can find that anywhere at this point because people scan immediately online. But yeah, it just explains more. I'm excited to see more. I don't know. I love the last season. We bawled our eyes out.
Yes, we did.
Twice.
Then we just like watched the final episode in English this morning.
Yep.
After.
Yep. Final episode.
We watched it like a few weeks ago in Japanese.
And I still cried.
Yeah,
twice.
We both still cried.
I don't know. It's just hitting, and I'll get into that afterward.
Wonderful.
But it's a wonderful series, and I'm glad they're doing something more with it. And obviously, this is like a one-shot thing that they're doing as a project, and it's coming in 5 months. But I'm excited to see what they have planned in the future. Maybe they have more projects.
Maybe so.
What else we got? We got so many announcements.
Gacha Kuta Season 2.
So excited. So excited.
Heck yeah, that's going to be great.
Which is funny enough, this is from the same studio that does My Hero Academia.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Studio Bones.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they have been killing it this last season with My Hero and Gacha Kuta. Now they're coming back with Vigilantes. So, like, they are handling so much that is baffling me. But they are passionate enough to do it, and Gacha Kuta is from the spring lineup, because it was a 24 episode run, and now it's wrapping up this season, and I'm so glad it's coming back for more, because that's that again. This is one show that I read all of the manga and caught up to, and it's insane.
Yeah,
like you think season 1 was insane, it gets even crazier. So I'm excited. I know you're excited.
Heck yeah.
It sounds like I'm more excited though.
Oh, you were the one who like read ahead and stuff. So.
There was some, and I've already told you some stuff which I couldn't keep silent. It was just so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited we get it. You know, it's awesome, and oh man. All right. Well, we have more news, but we could save that for Migi to say.
Yeah,
to keep her stuff
in
honor that, because she had her own stuff she wanted to announce. But so shall we get into our topics?
Let's get into our topics. Why don't you start us off?
So we're doing our fall, our top, I called
top
it
3,
anime in the fall.
Yeah,
and I called it fall simp picks. It just rolls off the tongue better for me, but I know you guys have a different definition of that. So. So yeah, all 3 of us chose 3 anime to talk about that we loved so much in the fall lineup, as it's wrapping up right now or it's done. So you want me to go first?
Yeah.
I'm saving my best for last, so, and you already know that, but
yes.
I really liked May I Ask for One Final Thing. This was on the top of my most interested thing when we did our fall lineup discussion way back when, and I was just so fascinated with the story of this. It's like a villainess genre anime, and it deals with Scarlet, who is framed for being a villainess, and so she just she's been holding all this anger inside of her, and so she decides to start punching people, and it is so great. so great. And it was just, man, it was so funny, and because we watched it all dubbed. Yeah, because they did simul-dub, which is very rare on some of these anime coming out, but they delivered on every episode simul-dubbed, and it was great.
That was great.
And they did a great job and fantastic work on whoever played Scarlet.
She was amazing.
She is my woman of the year.
So is she your lady simp?
I think I'm simping for Scarlet, because
yeah,
she's great. Because she even has like the power of like Krona. And so she could like reverse or speed up time and stuff, and she's super strong, so she's just punching shit all the time. It's so great. And I was actually quite intrigued with like the world building of the show. Like, obviously they've dealt with a lot of politic stuff. Political stuff, but still keeping it in line with like the fantasy stuff of the world. And then it kind of delved into like a reincarnated situation, which I didn't know if I needed, but it was still okay.
Yeah, we didn't really need that aspect of it, but it was a fun little twist.
Yeah.
There, and not for like our villainess, but for the villainess of the show.
Mm-hmm. Quote unquote. Yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Do you have anything you want to say about it? Because I know you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I loved it. I love how she says bitch.
The last line in the show, I can't believe she got away with saying the F word.
You should bring up what didn't the guy write an email about?
It's actually a girl, so the
person. When I say guy, it doesn't mean man.
Oh, I know what you.
It's like the person.
So, voice director of like the English dub had to like write a letter explaining why they decided to go with using the F word, which is unheard of. I was like, it's so weird that they didn't bleep it out, but they just.
I love that they didn't.
But she had to justify it by like, oh, this is part of why we're doing it.
What was the email titled?
The subject line was, "May I ask for one more fuck," or something like that. I forget.
One final curse word.
One final curse word or something like that. It was so funny. And they approved it, obviously, because obviously it wouldn't air if that was the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, really funny.
That was great.
Love the whole show.
Love it.
And they kind of don't need to do more.
Yeah, no, I feel like it was nicely done.
Because I never read the manga, so I have no idea what to expect if they kind of sped things along, or they left it at a point where they didn't they didn't set it up for a cliffhanger or anything. So I'm fine with the one season. Honestly, it was perfect. Yeah. They ended off on her just still doing her thing, as you know. Yeah. But yeah, I really like that one, and it's up there. Yeah. How about you?
So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Let's Play. Then
Let's a game fun to play. So we talked about this one on the lineup as well, but what did you like about it?
So yeah, I just, for one, I love that it's from an American creator. Mm-hmm. It's so neat seeing something like that being adapted in anime.
It's like it was a webtoon originally.
Yeah, a lot of the anime that come out anymore are webtoons originally. But yeah, this one I really loved it because it's, I guess, based on it being American, it has that very familiar vibe with how we show stuff and explain stuff. But I also love how it's also still like respectful and has that Japanese quality. Mm-hmm. The story is great. I feel like they sort of went off of a Markiplier real life experience there, where he completely early on in his career, he shat on this game, sort of ruined this person's career, and I was like, this had to be the inspiration, right? Because even though Markiplier is like Korean, martial law is Japanese, half Japanese, and he accidentally destroys Samara's gaming, like, indie dev career sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I found it might not have any relation to any of that, but I like just...
You found the breadcrumbs.
I found the breadcrumbs. I can see, like, the trail. I'm gobbling it up like the birds who don't want Hansel and Gretel to find their way home. But... But no,
good analogy.
Thank you. But I love how you get this whole group of friends who fiercely like help each other out. And Marshall over here, he's sort of a lone bird with a girlfriend who he could treat a little better himself, but he's just so paranoid about social image, and all that kind of stuff. Oh, okay. I love how you get to see.
Go on a rant, Ani. I've been on a rant.
So right. I love how
you have your piece.
Even the side characters feel like well fleshed out characters. They have backstories. They have goals. They have their traumas. And if you like, there's always something relatable in things that do that. It's not like a copy paste situation where you get like, oh yeah, a bunch of these other characters who we'll never really know about just because they're their friends and they're not really important. But everybody here feels like they have their own lives, and like it's the real world in a way.
It had some really deep topics to talk about too.
Yeah, it talks about like PTSD and like abuse and having to spend most of your life in a hospital because of your asthma and or like some sort of like medical condition and being disowned by your family and. Yeah, it just
getting cheated on too. Oh my god,
getting cheated on
affairs.
Yeah, in your own home.
So I agree with everything you're saying. Like it feels real.
Yeah.
Like I think I think we, specifically us, and I can't speak for anybody else. If you are, obviously chime in the comments below, but like, if it just felt real, not like we went through that experience, but like the fact that it is set in America, they don't really flat out say where, but it does look like it's California. Yeah. They obviously, this is an American writer, author who wrote this, so it feels personal. Not that I can't say everything else that we watched feels personal to their own degree. I just feel like we relate to this more because we are American.
Yeah. And
the things that they tackle are very serious issues that I wouldn't say, we as a collective have experienced in our life, but there are other issues that they talk about too, with like depression and the self-confidence and what that's like. And they have like those as the embodiment, like a physical manifestation of something in the anime, which I thought was really interesting. Like you see like what depression is like on somebody, and it's like this entity that's like literally weighing this person down on top of them. Like it's a weight, and it's like, it can't be lifted. And I'm like, that's such cool imagery, because that is probably what it feels like. I would imagine. Yeah. I mean, I can't say I've been, crazy depressed. I've been mildly, I think at best, but I feel some of that. And
depression feels heavy.
And the self-confidence that Sam needs sometimes to speak out and not just be silent and just speak her mind and actually tell the person that she wants to talk to what she feels and what you did to me, and like you said, like ruin her career. I'm like, my God.
Yeah.
So
I will add one more little thing, is that, like, don't come after me about talking about Markiplier. I love him. But he has even earlier this year, I think in one of his live streams, has talked about how he will only do constructive criticism when he plays games now, because he had that kind of a situation. So I'm just talking. I love him. So
no, it's on the record. Which likes Markiplier.
I've loved him for at least a decade now.
Yeah, probably more than me.
From his earlier days to now, I've pretty much watched, if not all of his videos, at least like 90 some odd %. So carry on.
No, you're good. I like that you brought it home, so no worries. We can leave it there. Let's Play was great. It would have been on my list if I didn't have other anime I wanted to pick. But so good choice. Good choice. My next one is Sanda. This is one we kind of picked up halfway through the fall lineup because of you.
Because of me. I didn't mention Science Saru.
It's kind of a staple now. You gotta talk to me about studios.
In the future, if I really want to watch something he seems to have no interest in, I'm going to figure out if it's a studio that he likes or not. And then I'll bring it up again and be like, hey, this is done by this.
See, it was a little weird for me when I heard about Sound Up first, where like, oh, it's like a Santa Claus anime. And that's all I heard about it at that point. Yeah, I didn't hear anything else about it.
I wanted to watch this Christmas anime.
And it just didn't feel like I was ready for a Santa Christmas show yet. Not until you said it was Science Art, of course. Which anything they have done up to the point of hell, ever since Scott Pilgrim takes off was amazing. And then Dan just blew it out of the water. So anything that Science Saru does now, which next year we will be watching their Ghost in the Shell rendition. We have to watch that. So
I've always wanted to get into Ghost in the Shell.
Well, now we can with Science Saru, I think.
You're like, we're doing it the right way.
Doing it the right way. But yeah, I'm down for whatever Science Saru does. And when you finally told me it was them, we looked more into it. I'm like, let's freaking go and watch this. And I've loved every episode. I love what the creator does of Sanda, who also does Beastar, which is great. I can see it now and I can feel it. Obviously 2 different studios are tackling the anime to those projects, but the messages that both those series do, specifically Sanda, I really like the world building is so fascinating. I'm a sucker for world building, where they talk about like a Japan that is in steadily decline of birth rates, like a birth rate decline, and that they need to, like, I guess, lead the next generation of kids. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, the next generation is, yeah.
And so, like, what is that like? What is a world where there's not that many children, and how do they act? And then it gets into, like, crazier things where, like, kids don't sleep. Otherwise, they'll grow up faster because they're, like, science.
Science, bitch.
And then, like, and then why did Santa get extinct? Like, why is that? Like, or go extinct? Why is he just a myth? Why is he a legend? Why is he not something that people, like, kids are excited for every year? And it deals with, like, topics of, like, what's it like to be, like, to grow up as an adult? Is that scary? What's that like? I mean, we're getting these really hard questions that I wasn't expecting for this anime. That Beastars did too. When we started watching Beastars, I was like, okay, well, I know what to expect of this. It's a school of beast folk, or, you know, anthropomorphic people, but it deals with, like, carnivores and herbivores, and how can they live together, and what do they eat, and how does that function, and then a society of being prejudiced because you're a carnivore, or, like, you're a killer if you're a carnivore. I mean, like, it's
and then there was the stuff with the mafia.
It just deals, like, I was not expecting this with Beastars, and I certainly wasn't expecting the topics that they talked about in Sanda.
Yeah.
But we're getting that, and it's been great.
It blindsides you.
It blindsides me like a gust of snow blizzard. I'm trying to make it all connect, but then, like, even, like, seeing, like, what's Santa like what's his powers, and then they deal with, like, how he can detect when people are lying, or, like, he's flame retardant, which I'm like, that makes so much sense. Or how he just, like, ejects skis out of his feet. And I'm like, what? It's, like, really fucking cool.
I love it.
And he's, like, a buff grandpa.
Right?
And it's so freaking cool. And it's just amazing. And I'm like, I can't see any other studio but Science Saru doing this now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I love it. And Santa's amazing. And I'm so glad we watched it this lineup, even if it was a little late.
Do you have a simp in Santa?
Probably Santa.
Yeah.
Santa's awesome.
I forgot to mention that in Let's Play, my simp would be Charles.
Oh, yes, Charles.
So, yeah.
Charles.
Anyway, carry on.
No worries. I'm done. Santa needs to be watched. And I'm hoping they announce more. They kind of don't leave it on a cliffhanger, which I was surprised about. I thought they were going to do more with that.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping they pick it up for more. So, Sanda.
I really hope that it gets more.
All right. Well, what's your next pick?
Okay, my next pick is Faded Magical Princess Who Made Me a Princess.
I like this one.
I love this one so much.
We're coming up on the finale today, I think. We have to still watch it.
We have not seen the finale yet. It did get, like, a couple extra episodes. It wasn't the 12 episode run.
16.
Yeah.
It's from a Chinese studio, right?
It's a Chinese studio, I believe. And I think this is also, like, a webtoon of sorts. It doesn't have, like, a manga or a physical form that you can read it from. But I still have yet to understand why it is an isekai. Maybe that's better explained in the webtoon. I don't know. Yeah,
so, like, when we were talking about this in our fall lineup as a pick, and talking about it when we first started watching it at the beginning of this lineup, there was a weird description about it being an isekai, and I have still not seen anything portrayed to it being an isekai.
Right. Now we know it is a storybook.
Yeah.
And she is this tragic character in the storybook. But, like, we also know that at the beginning of the show, her mother does, like, this weird, interesting spell thing. And it's, like, sort of makes her sees what her future is like.
That's what I understand.
Right?
Yeah.
And unless that is supposed to be some sort of cryptic way of telling us that this woman has read the book and was isekai'd into a baby, it feels more like the character herself has become privy to the contents of the book.
Yes, that's what I am interpreting it too. But in the description, it's like some middle-aged woman or, like, somebody in their 20s being, like, reincarnated as a baby, and I'm like, what?
Right? But we have no recollection of any past life if that's the case.
Yeah, because she's not, like, like the character, like, is it Astasia or something? Anastasia.
I pulled up
It's a long name.
It's like Athanasia or something like that.
I know she goes as a short name, but
yeah, Athy.
Athy? Okay, Athy.
Athanasia.
But, like, Athy doesn't, like, recollect her old memories. She's using what her knowledge is of the story to make sure it doesn't happen.
Of her future. She claims it as her own. Unlike in other, like, these types of stories where, like, they're like, oh shit, like, this character I am. Like, they are supposed to die. No, this is her. She's all like, oh my god, this is gonna happen to me. And, like, this is my future. I gotta make people love me. You know? But
you know, besides the story, yeah.
Besides all of that, this has made it into my top 3. I know. Amazing. But I love it because, like, in this one, yeah, she's concerned about her own survival, but she loves her father, and she wants a relationship with him, which she does not have in the original storybook.
Mm-hmm.
And I love, you don't always see, especially in anime, or at least not the ones we watch, like, relationships between parent and child, where that seems to be, like, the main, like, thing in this.
It's few and far between.
Yeah. It's usually a romantic relationship with somebody else, or, like, enemies to lovers, or whatever. But this one is, like, being in family, getting to know your parents, and, like, their trauma, for one thing. And, like, just, I just love how in this anime, just her foolishly wandering onto, like, his part of the property and biting a gold statue, like, piqued his interest in her when he had no interest in her at all because of his heartbreak. And I just love seeing how, like, Athy has this way of, like, you know, bringing the better sides out of people, healing them a bit. And I just love the story. It's wholesome, it's fun, and, like, you gotta feel bad for some characters, but it's so interesting with how the way magic works too.
Yeah.
Because her heart is literally going to explode if she does the wrong shit or uses too much or something. So they have to get this wizard, who is, of course, an adult, but he makes himself a child, so he's more accurately aged to her, so he could keep her alive. But
and so it doesn't look weird. Or feel weird.
But I feel like, because at the very beginning of the show, he was all like, oh, like, it wasn't, and then he realized it's a little girl, and it's like, this is like his destined partner or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, it's weird. That stuff's weird. But
I try to overlook that.
The thing that makes the show amazing for me is Athy's and her father, what's his name?
His relationship.
Claude's, yeah, their relationship. And I love learning more about Claude. But who is my simp in the show?
I don't blame you. He's a very attractive man.
He's like a Roman emperor.
Essentially,
regal.
He's wearing a fucking toga.
I know, right? The whole time he's like in those like Romanesque robes. He's just lounging around. He's like lazing around the castle. No, he was regal doing it. But anyway, good story. I love it when it's not all about, oh, I gotta like survive it. Oh, fall in love with this person.
I do like that it's going through basically her life. She's from baby to now she's like, what, 16?
Yeah, I think
right at this point?
Yeah.
So I'm like,
around 16. Yeah.
And it doesn't, I mean, there's a few time jumps here and there, but like, it's kind of going through her whole life at this point.
You're seeing like the important bits.
Yeah.
And like how she's getting to where she's getting to. Because at first we see how she, like, how people absolutely fall in love with her, which people didn't in the original story. She was just a plain little
she was
girl,
shunned away.
Right? But she is so, like, sort of smart and calculating with things. And she cares for the people around her, so she tries to protect them and make sure certain things are prevented. And
there are people that were supposed to already be dead at this point that are alive.
That are so alive.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
so
I love it.
So, yeah, I'm glad you chose this one.
Thank you.
Really great. I've been loving it. The animation is top tier, by the way.
It's gorgeous.
And I think it's a Chinese studio, I think, like we said, but like...
it's in Japanese.
Well, yeah, Japanese, but I think a Chinese studio is the one that's like adapting the animation and stuff. And I think, obviously, for it to be over here probably Japanese, I would imagine, is the language that we're using for the sub. So, are you looking into that?
Yes.
I can cut this if I need to, but
it's yeah, you're right. It is Chinese.
Yeah. It's just interesting, yeah, because like
yeah, it is a webtoon.
Oh yeah, cool. I like that. So you guys could check it out if you want, and I'm interested to see what that would look like. I mean, like, does it look the same? I'm interested. So, but yeah, I'm excited that we're getting more studios that are not just Japanese focused, that are doing so much cool projects like this. And obviously, my biggest one, which is probably still hasn't changed, is To Be Hero X is amazing. That's from a Chinese studio as well. So I'm just like,
they are killing it.
Yeah, they are. I would have Japan should start being worried,
right?
Because like I'm seeing what China is doing, and I'm like,
not only are we getting like these unique and fresh stories,
it looks good too.
It looks good too, and they're doing a lot of 3D,
and it doesn't look bad.
It looks amazing.
Yeah. So Faded Magical Princess. Who made me into a princess? Good pick.
Thank you.
I know which one you saved for last, but you're going on to me.
Oh, okay.
Which is my favorite thing. I say my favorite thing for last, which is My Hero Academia final season. This is the culmination of about 9 years of this show, 9 years of us together, which means a lot to me.
It means a lot to me too.
Just thinking about it is very emotional. You know, like this is our first anime that we've ever watched together. You know, as a series, as a whole. You know, and
we started it together, and
we're finishing it together. Like we've watched all 170 episodes, 4 movies.
Yeah, 2 of them we saw in theaters.
I know.
The last one we saw in theaters was like
the second one, yeah.
Yeah, which was just before COVID hit the States.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think about.
I think it was like we went to the theaters, and then the following week, it was like
COVID.
lockdown.
But yeah, and then we watched the last 2 here, you know, in the comfort of our own home. But it's just been a journey, and it just the culmination of where we are now with this series was so awe-inspiring to me. I loved the whole story from start to finish. I've read all of it beforehand, but just seeing it on the screen with you right beside me just makes it that much better, because we got to experience what Deku went through, from being a quirkless person to being the number one hero. But it also didn't just dealt with Deku. It dealt with all these students and all these other characters that were dealing with their own trauma and their own family issues. And it also even dealt with the villains to make them look more human and not feel like, oh, these villains are doing this because they're evil. No, they're doing it for separate reasons because of, you know, their own reasons, you know, because of how they were treated or so-and-so, you know, it's they humanize everyone in this show, and it just feels that much more impactful when you see Deku, who's this character who can just bring people together and not fix them, but see the error of their ways, or have a change of heart. You know, like you have all these villains that have changed because of Deku. You have all these heroes that have changed because of Deku, and it's even All Might, like even like the main hero of all, like the number one hero in Japan, has changed because of Deku. It's so beautiful, and seeing it all come full circle and be done. You know, it's not, obviously I think we're getting more stuff down the line in the future, and that's good. I like that. That's cool. Let's not milk it too much, but we'll see. I mean, right now they're doing,
it'll be like a beautiful little end. Yeah.
I mean, what they did is a beautiful end. I think it's great. It is. And it's nice seeing like what Vigilantes is doing. It's an entirely different spin-off.
Which I'm loving.
Which is using, you know, characters from the show in the manga, but like introducing new characters. Then obviously this all takes place before the events of My Hero, so it's not like it's, you know, coinciding with the main story. So I'm not as bugged up about that as you know, what other stories are doing or what other filler could do. But I think they're in a good spot, and I really hope they don't bungle it or taint it any more than they Not that they are tainting it. I don't think they've done anything wrong.
To ask if
They've done no tainting whatsoever in my eyes. I just don't want to see the greed overflow because I think they wrapped this up beautifully. It says the final season. It's done. Yeah. So I'm happy. I'm ecstatic that we have a show that has come full circle, that it's ended. It was beautiful. I've cried both times in the sub and the dub, which is crazy. You'd cried several times in the sub and the dub. And it's amazing that can do that to us. You know, it can pull at the heartstrings, and I'm already getting a little teary-eyed from that, but it's just a little bit. Thank you for the tissue. But it's so great that I got to do this all with you. And that's what makes it my favorite simp show of the fall lineup was My Hero Academia with you. So
I agree to that, but I focused on just new releases.
I know. I had to talk about
I am so glad you did, because it's my favorite this season too. Whenever I see it, I'm like, this is our anime. This is the one that we started at the beginning of our relationship. And now, hey, here we are, almost 10 years later.
It's just crazy.
And
crazy.
Finishing, and it sort of feels like we've reached a milestone.
It does, and it
like in our lives, and just like not just because of a show ending, but like it just shows me how far we have come as well.
And it was like I wrote a whole thing on My Hero Academia, but I really didn't want to talk about. I mean, I kind of did some bullet points here, but the one thing that I really wanted to talk about is that watching My Hero Academia reach a conclusion doesn't feel like it's like we lost something, but it feels like it's honoring the time we spent with it and trusting that the story we knew it was time to say goodbye to. So,
oh, you're gonna make me cry.
I'm sorry. That's the one thing I wanted to say is that it doesn't feel like we're losing anything. It just feels like we're.
That's the thing I really love is that like I see a lot of like with how easily you can cry over like these great things. I see a lot of Deku in you. You know,
where I wear my heart on my sleeve.
You wear your heart on your sleeve. You're a wee bit of a crybaby at times, but like. So is Deku, and he's the most lovable crybaby.
Yes, he is.
That's the same quality I see in you.
I want to give chops to Studio Bones for this last season. It was amazing. They went full throttle on this show at the end. It just felt like a whole fucking movie. Like the animation was peak. Fucking peak. And even the last 3 episodes, which are all epilogues, all an epilogue, just feels so good. Mm-hmm. Like it's not like
it's still emotional.
It's so emotional because of where we are now. Like after the dust has settled, what is that like? Mm-hmm. You know, like after everything we've done now, where are we all at? Even with a time jump, which is 8 years later, you know, like you're gonna see that, and it's great. It's a full circle, and I love it. So. My Hero Academia is my favorite thing of the fall lineup, and I'm glad that we got here now. It took 9 years. 9 wonderful years of this show, and I'm glad I got to watch it with you. All of it together.
I'm glad about that too.
And
who's your simp?
It's Deku.
Deku? Nice.
Actually, All Might. God,
that's who I was
okay, no, it's Bakugo. It's Bakugo.
He's your simp?
He has the best character arc in the entire
and you're attracted to him?
Okay, well, if we're talking about attractiveness...
We're talking simp in the legitimate simp way.
Okay, well, that would be...
Favorite character, Bakugo. Simp?
I really like Lady Nagant.
Oh.
Or Mirako, which is also the bunny girl, but she lost a few limbs along this fight or along this journey. Mount Lady is very attractive, but I really liked something about Lady Nagant I really liked. So
yeah,
simping for her. All right, last one for you, right?
All right, and this is.
I know which one.
Purely the dub, but I don't know if it would work as well in Japanese. I will watch it at some point in Japanese. But my favorite of the season, and it didn't start off as my favorite. It like rose through the ranks.
Yeah, it took some time.
Yeah. The Dark History of the Reincarnated Villainess. Props to the English dub actress who does the main character. What is her name? Iana Magnolia. She does such a good job. She has me like busting a gut every week. Just by how she says things, her enthusiasm, like everything. It is amazing. I love how, like, if you've ever written like your own stories as like a middle school to high schooler type like age, then you know how fast your stories can move. But too fast. It's so great because I could see a lot of myself in this character, and I see a lot of like fun things that could be added to like the cringe of my past hidden artistic self in the show. So I guess I can relate to a lot, even though I never wanted to like dye an isekai into my own stories.
Yeah, there's a little bit of cringe there.
There's a lot of cringe there. I definitely have never like modeled a character after myself. I wanted them to be their own thing. I didn't envision them as my perfect self. But I love how in this show she designs herself as like the princess. She's the perfect character. Everybody falls in love with her, and she gets reincarnated as the villainess.
She like wrote as this despicable person.
Yeah, and she's not trusted. She's under surveillance, and now she's trying to keep herself alive. And it is so hilarious because each episode is like a new chapter or like a new book. I don't know what you want to call it.
I'd say maybe chapters, yeah,
because of how quickly it moves. It's not fully fleshed out, but some things are more fleshed out than others. That is total, like, inexperienced teenage writing there. Young teenage writing, where you see her obsessions or things that interest her as
at that time.
Up. Yeah. And I love it how she'll even reminisce about the phase that she was going through at that time.
It's perfect. I love this. Might be one of my favorite villainess shows.
Agreed.
Just because of the spin on it. Like it's not like it's typical like reincarnate. I mean, it's still reincarnated.
It's not like in an Otome game.
Yeah, that's the trope though. It's like a Otome game villainess. Show. Or to that degree. And I love the spin on this being like, this is her own work of fiction.
Nobody else knows the story.
Yeah, except for her. But she has to recollect it because she wrote it so many years ago. Because when she gets reincarnated, she's like in her mid-20s or late 20s as a businesswoman. So she wouldn't remember everything she wrote. Or it just
She gets there via isekai bus, like usual.
Like you do.
Yeah.
But I love the take on this show. And again, it's really fucking funny, like you said, because we're watching it dubbed, and it's just firing on all cylinders on the dubs. Like they're like, go full rein on what you want to say, and the whole cast is doing great. But the main girl, she's killing it. She's the one that's holding this fucking whole thing together with glue, and she's doing a a job. So
she is
excellent pick. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you have a set that you want to do?
Yeah. Oh,
Soul, who's like the butler?
Yeah, the butler guy. There's something so nice about butler guys, and he is deadly efficient.
Well, you like deadly efficient butlers that can get the job done.
Yeah. Kieran Grill Sutcliffe. Deadly efficient.
Or Bassett.
Simply one hell of a butler. He is my anime husbando.
It's on the card.
It's on the card. It's on the license.
But yeah, I like that pick. It's amazing, and we're wrapping it up pretty soon on the finale. So I think we're a couple episodes.
I cannot wait to see how this ends.
Hopefully we'll get more. Or they leave it
or
just
maybe
enough.
they leave it beautifully done.
Fingers crossed. It's hard to do all.
I know there's a manga, but not so. Maybe not.
Well, is that our 3?
I think that's our 3.
Yeah. That was really great. We'll have Migi do her picks at the beginning of next episode.
Yeah.
Just so we could
talk about them.
Yeah, we'll let her do a whole thing. Maybe that will be part of the Weebly update or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we want to make sure she gets what she wants said in on her choices, and we want to hear what they are.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that next time, along with our next topic, next episode, which is the winter 2026 lineup. We have some banger anime coming out. It's to the point that it's a two-parter. So we have to do 2 episodes of the winter lineup. That's how big this season of anime is. So look out for that. And if you guys enjoyed this episode of the Weeby Simpin podcast, let us know down below in the comments. Let us know what your favorite fall lineup was. You can find us all over on YouTube, Spotify, and even cool merch on Redbubble.
If you got any questions, comments, concerns, or thoughts for us, you can reach us at weebysimpinpodcast@gmail.com.
And that's a podcast. So as we always say,
Ja mate.